Hello, welcome to this update. So there's more severe weather today, Monday, October 21st. So let's see, they just added another slight risk there in parts of Kansas, southern Nebraska, and a marginal from Texas to central Nebraska. So be aware there. A storm or two in eastern Florida, parts of the plains there, and in the north, a storm or two. So let's see, wind threat just a 5% there, and wind threat 15%. So a threat of some larger hail there, and tornado 2%. So be aware, this might update later, but for now 2%. So a few severe storms with large hail possible across central Kansas and south central Nebraska, mainly from afternoon to early evening. So be aware there. Let's just see something here to see some other tornado probabilities. So the Colorado State University is just a 2% too, and wind and hail a 15%. So yeah, very similar. But because I saw a post yesterday saying like some higher probabilities today, but mainly just a 2%. So be careful there. Tomorrow just a general risk of storms, nothing big tomorrow, and no severe, yeah, just a storm or two in parts of the Midwest and the North. Day 3 for Wednesday shows a storm or two in the Northeast there. So be aware, but especially today there in Kansas, parts of Nebraska, with the hail and a tornado or two. Let's see, fire, no critical. So the model here shows the HER, shows already some showers in Nebraska there in Kansas, but shows those storms later in the afternoon there in Kansas, about 19Z. So this is not too late. But later does show southern Kansas later in the evening, some more storms southern Nebraska and southern Kansas, might be a little bit more severe, so be aware. And nothing that crazy. The significant tornado parameter shows, let's see, so later in the evening show some slight parameters in Nebraska, Kansas, some areas, but that doesn't show anything crazy. Just a little bit earlier in the afternoon, some 23Zs are in close late afternoon, close to the evening, shows some higher tornado parameters in northern in Kansas there, and a little bit earlier in the afternoon shows those same parameters there, and as you get into the evening, starts going down a little bit, but be careful in those areas. The updraft helicity shows, let's see, the probability of rotating updrafts. Let's see here, fit loads. So this in case like severe storm potential and hail and everything. So this shows some tracks southern Kansas and Oklahoma later in the evening. So definitely be aware there. And northern Kansas and southern Nebraska showing some more tracks. So be aware, show some sporadic things in not areas, but mainly this. So be careful. There's nothing crazy in terms of rainfall today, nor tomorrow, nor day 3, nor day 4, nor day 5. So it's kind of quiet. There's the high pressure in the southeast there, in the front in the plains, and those systems in Canada with snow there. So let's see, the precipitation today shows those storms there, parts of the plains, the northwest still with a lot of rain, some areas, and Florida some rain. Tuesday does show some more in Florida, a little bit in the north, and some showers in the Midwest and Northwest. Wednesday shows more in the Northwest and a little bit, some other showers in the Northeast and elsewhere. Day 4 for next Friday shows more for parts of the Midwest. Day 5 next Saturday, more in parts of Washington, once again in Oregon. Day 6 next Sunday, more in the Northwest and some in the Northeast too. And day 7 next Monday, more in the Northwest. So yeah, day 1 through 7 shows in the plains, the Midwest, Florida, and the Northeast, but shows a lot in the Northwest. So they have to be aware there. And let's see. We still have that wind hazard, day 1 through 7, and day 3 through 7, and day 8 through 14, still some drought and some wind and rain in Alaska. So still nothing crazy, but be aware that in those areas the snowfall shows tiny probability in Colorado, maybe a tiny bit of snow there, but the biggest snow is mainly in Canada. Shows in Washington some, even tiny hint in northern Montana, but that's like very little. But still, today the snowfall probability shows more in Colorado, those higher probabilities there in parts of Colorado, and shows some in northern Montana. So those mountains in northern Montana might have a probability of snow. Today's Monday shows Washington a tiny hint of snow is possible in those mountains, but really a lot of snow in Alberta, there, British Columbia, in those mountains. So be aware. And elsewhere, it's except for Colorado, it's kind of quiet. So let's see. There the temperatures shows some A is in the south still, in the southeast too, southwest, and those colder temperatures in the northwest there. And then tonight through tomorrow does show, let's see if it loads. So colder in the northwest there, and some 30 is 4, especially some 30 is in those blues, and some 20s Fahrenheit, like some 27 in parts of Oregon will be colder in the mountains. Even northern Maine, so like 30s, high 30s, and New Mexico cold as well, Colorado, Wyoming, very cold in those areas. And Tuesday afternoon, tomorrow still shows hot in parts of Texas, Oklahoma, all the way to 91, some 90s in southern Arizona, southernmost California, some 80s south central California, and parts of the southeast, some 80s and some 70s, parts of the north central, some areas, but still cold in the northwest, some 50s, 40s, and yeah, and day 2 minimum temperatures from Tuesday to Wednesday morning shows those 20s in the North Dakota, parts of Montana, some 20s Fahrenheit still, some 30s in parts of the Rockies, and even some 20s, the high mountains, there might be some 20s or teens, and parts of Montana, very cold in those mountains, even parts of like Washington, Oregon, Northern California, and some 40s in the Appalachians, and yeah, so be careful the cold in the north there. It shows day 3, Wednesday afternoon, so 90s in the southwest, in the south central and southeast, especially like in the southwest and parts of Oklahoma, Texas, so 90s, some 80s in the southeast, and still some 40s, low 40s in the northern Midwest, and the northwest, and even some 30s in the mountains of Washington, some colder temperatures there. Wednesday night through Thursday morning does show some 20s in Oregon again, some 30s in Washington, and those lighter blue areas, maybe some 20s parts of northern Montana, in Idaho, especially those white areas, maybe some teens. So be aware. Parts of Colorado, New Mexico is still cold, and especially like northern Wisconsin, Michigan, and those areas. So be aware. So let's see. So there was here day 2, so day 5, there was Wednesday to Thursday, so let's see here, day 4 actually. Good. So Thursday during the day still shows some 90s parts of the Arizona, California, some high 80s in Oklahoma, a 90 or 2 in Texas, and still hot in the southwest and southeast, especially in Florida. And shows some 50s in the northwest, some 40s in the mountains, so still cold there. Let's see, Thursday to Friday morning still shows very cold in the north, some 20s in Montana, very low temperatures there, some like 20s in North Dakota, Minnesota, some 30s in Washington, parts of Oregon, even 20s in Oregon, northern Nevada will be colder, so be careful with the cold in those areas. That's mainly in the morning. In the afternoon, warms up to 50 degrees in Montana, like 59, 57. So yeah, and some 90s in the southwest still, and some 80s in the south and southeast, all the way to 90 in southern Texas. And then like, let's see, there was Friday during the day. So now from Friday to Saturday, still some 30s in the north, some 20s in the north too. During the night and early morning, some 30s in the northeast too, and parts of the west, some scattered 30s there. especially in the mountains in Nevada, in Wyoming especially, and where in Idaho, Washington, Oregon, those areas, so be aware. And then there was Saturday morning. Now Saturday during the day, those shows higher the southwest, some 90 still, maybe a small heat risk there, and show some 80s in the southeast and 70s, and some like 50s in the north. So be aware, some 40s. And then day 6 shows from Saturday to Sunday morning, shows some 30s in parts of Wyoming Sunday morning, and even some 20s in the mountains, some 30s in parts of Oregon, Washington, and parts of California, in Nevada too in the mountains. In the northeast still cold, some 30s in the northern Midwest, so be aware. And next, that was until next Sunday, yeah, so let's see here. Day 7, next Sunday afternoon, shows more 90s in the southwest, still cold in Washington in the mountains, and still some 80s in the southeast and south central, so be aware. The max wind gusts for today's Monday, so until Tuesday the 22nd, shows some very high winds parts of southeastern Wyoming, so some like 50 to 60 mile per hour gusts occasionally, and like shows there in Montana some gusty winds sometimes, and yeah, so be aware. 48 hour snowfall does show more. Let's see, parts of northern Montana, I told you that snow, parts of Washington, Oregon, a little bit of snow, in Colorado, there's still that snow in the Rockies there, so be aware in those areas. The warnings, there's still some freeze watches, parts of Colorado, some winter weather advisories where that snow is at, and if wind warnings southeastern Wyoming, some like flood watches northern Oregon still for some stuff there, and shows northeastern Florida as well, and shows some winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories in Alaska, central Alaska there, and southern Alaska, some wind warnings in western Alaska, flood watches in parts of Alaska too, so be careful there. The marine warnings and everything, so be aware. In the northeast parts of Maine, no Maine, parts of Massachusetts, Connecticut, we have some elevated fire weather concerns, relative humidity, so be aware. They didn't mention the fire weather forecast, but be aware there. So the warnings in Canada does show in Alberta, British Columbia, that snow, especially in Alberta, not showing British Columbia, shows those snowfall warnings there. In all those locations, the locations are on this side. So be aware of snowfall warnings. If you click, there's snowfall to amount of 10 to 15 centimeters expected, heavy at times, so be aware. All these special weather statements are like for snow too. First, accumulating snow this season will fall today. Foothills near Cole, near Blake, Cypress, so all these areas here, snowfall warnings and snowfall advisories, the special weather statements, so be aware. In all those areas here, snowfall advisories. And then Northwestern Territories, blizzard warning, Palatuk, and then shows blizzard conditions expected today, very strong southern winds with gusts all the way to 90 km/h and falling snow across near zero visibility starting early this evening. Conditions will improve Tuesday morning as the winds weaken, so be aware there. And Nunavut shows a snowfall warning, Clyde River, so some more snow there. And you can always check this website in the description to see more information. So the model here, the GFS does show that snow in parts of Manitoba and Saskatchewan as well. And let's see what it shows like winter weather. So total snowfall, let's see. We'll check some different models too, because this one can have some different things. So let's see. This is the GFS until Thursday. Today's Monday, so until Thursday has some 15 centimeters of snow in Manitoba, some snow in Ontario too, and it has some southern northwestern territories, parts of Nunavut, and that snow in Alberta, parts of Saskatchewan there. So yeah, there's like West and Canada too. Let's see. So until Thursday, does show some more snow in Alberta, the mountains of British Columbia. So like I showed you there, other parts of British Columbia some. It shows more southern Yukon and parts of British Columbia there. Especially shows a lot in southern Alaska in those areas. So be aware. And yeah, let's see. For example, eastern Canada. So shows some heavier snow northern Quebec and Labrador, those areas there. So be aware. That's close to like some 50 centimeters, 30, 40 centimeters. So be aware. More north central Quebec, some more snow, and northern Ontario, central Ontario too. So be aware. So there's the, let's see, forget this. So there's the European model too. It shows here like that snow northern Quebec and Labrador, that heavier snow there, and that area of snow central northern Quebec there. So be aware. And shows more central Quebec, even southern Quebec shows some 2 or 3 centimeters of snow there. 4 centimeters, yeah. It also shows in Manitoba 11 centimeters, some in Saskatchewan, and shows more in Alberta, close to 20 centimeters, some snow in Calgary, parts of British Columbia. So be aware. Throughout British Columbia here, they show like some 37 centimeters this week, this until the next Saturday. So shows more here, and in southern Alaska really showing a lot, like some 176 centimeters. That's about some 68 inches of snow. There might be some very high mountains in those areas, but like almost 60 inches of snow is a lot. And then somewhere like 15 inches in other areas. Southern Alaska some 41 inches, and then more for central Alaska, most of Alaska will get snow, except for some really low-lying areas. But most of Alaska will get some snow, close to 10 inches, southwestern Alaska. There's north central Alaska, close to 21 inches, so definitely be aware. Now, now it's Monday, the 21st. Shows that system there now, with snow and rain, parts of central, all the way into eastern Alaska, and some snow in Yukon already. So shows more snow central to western Alaska too, and heavier in those green areas there. Shows already some snow southern Alaska, and then discontinue. The discontinuous shows more snow western Alaska on Tuesday, especially southern Alaska, some heavier snow southern Alaska, more snow into Yukon, Northwestern Territories. These rounds of snow just keep coming in Alaska until Wednesday. Some light snow on Wednesday in many areas. Shows another system from the Pacific in southern Alaska there, more rain and snow, the Aleutian Islands, and some rain southeastern Alaska. So this next Thursday shows heavy rain and snow next Friday, southern Alaska there, and even parts of Yukon, northern British Columbia, and then this kind of continues there until southernmost Alaska, even northern Washington, western British Columbia, with more rain and snow. This will be next Saturday. It shows a lot of snow there as the system spins throughout parts of Yukon, British Columbia, and other areas. And the rain goes all the way down to Oregon. So yeah. And even shows next Monday, the 28th, more snow in parts of Wyoming, Nevada, and Idaho. So we'll keep monitoring, because the European is like bringing this system further into the U.S. with more storms in the Midwest next Monday, the 28th, and like more snow all the way to Colorado next Tuesday. And it's doing some crazy stuff, like next Tuesday, the 29th, shows some big storms going to Ontario and more snow into Quebec, and shows this bigger cold front, maybe severe weather next Wednesday. So the Europeans have some interesting ideas. The GFS is like the snow in Alaska there, the heavier snow in some areas. And then it goes into Yukon and Northwestern Territories, with some snow in Nunavut on Wednesday too. And we'll talk about this other system in a minute. Let's see. Show like Thursday, some more rounds of snow in Alaska, parts of British Columbia, especially like as this bigger system comes next Saturday, the 26th, shows some heavier rain there, parts of southern Alaska and British Columbia, and like some more snow throughout Yukon and those areas, shows some rain to Washington and Oregon. But it's also showing next Monday some snow in Idaho, parts of Montana, more in Alberta and British Columbia, and then this keeps coming. It doesn't show much crazy, but shows next Tuesday some snow in Montana, parts of California shows more rain, and then does show a lot of snow there next Wednesday, the 30th, but that's a week out, so there's a lot of time to watch. There's like this system, parts of Manitoba now is in Saskatchewan. You go towards Ontario, shows Tuesday, the 22nd tomorrow, that's snow in Ontario. Some more rain in Ontario ahead of it, and shows more snow in Quebec. So rain in Quebec on Wednesday, shows that rain and snow there. And then this keeps going, shows more rain and snow on Wednesday throughout Ontario and Quebec. And then this keeps going east, more snow uh, parts of central, southern, even southern Quebec, into eastern Quebec and Labrador, more snow there. The next Friday shows another system, like this is Wednesday, shows a system coming into Oregon, parts of Idaho and Montana, with more snow like Wednesday, the 23rd, and Thursday. Then shows the system crosses through like North Dakota with some rain and goes into Ontario with more rain and snow there. Shows more snow for Quebec next Friday and Saturday there. And even shows next Sunday, the 27th, parts of Maine, New Hampshire, New York, and some more areas. So yeah, we'll keep monitoring. Shows some in Nova Scotia too, like Sunday and Monday. Shows a bigger system in the coast there next Monday. So yeah, there's the European. It also shows that system like in parts of Oregon and Idaho and Montana, some snow. This is next Thursday, the 24th. So this Thursday, right, shows some snow there in the northwest, and then kind of goes there into Wyoming with more snow. And the Europeans turn this into some severe weather next Friday, the 25th, in parts of the Midwest and the plains. And then this turns into like just some general rain, and might bring some snow in Quebec from this, and later next Saturday in Ontario show some snow. So yeah, be aware those areas, and the rain accumulation does show more rain there in Quebec, northern Labrador, in parts of Ontario, some more rain, but much of this rain will be snow, like I showed you before. Shows more rain parts of Iowa, in those areas with the storms, and shows a lot there in Newfoundland, more than 121 millimeters, more than 104 millimeters in Newfoundland. So this is from this system here, because there's all that blob of rain in the Atlantic, and then it will, that one will go away. But the European model has this big blob of rain on Friday, this Friday, the 25th, going towards like Newfoundland. So this will be some very heavy rain in parts of Newfoundland there. So we really gotta watch this. The GFS is a little bit earlier on Friday morning, but also some very heavy rain in those areas. The icon has like a little bit later on Friday afternoon, but it has some very heavy rain too. So all the models show a powerful system there in Atlantic Canada. So really gotta monitor this. So the icon has until Saturday more than 168 millimeters in Newfoundland there. The GFS has more in St. John's and some areas, but nothing crazy. The Europeans more than 140 millimeters there, so be aware. Seeing the snow for more areas does show a tiny hint of snow in Newfoundland, but nothing crazy from this. And now we start seeing that snow in Idaho or Montana and Wyoming from the system on Thursday, the 24th. So show some 4 inches, 3 inches, and in Oregon, parts of Nevada. So be aware those areas. And now we already saw the temperatures in the U.S. Let's see how it's looking for Canada. So Celsius, yeah. So does show those are cold temperatures parts of northwestern territories and Yukon, some all the way to minus 22. Northern British Columbia has all the way to minus 26 Celsius. Some cities there, like Fort Nelson, minus 10, minus 9, minus 8. So some very cold temperatures there. And this isn't like the early morning. In the afternoon, warms up to like minus 10. It goes from like minus 21 to minus 10. So that's a warm up, but it's still very, very cold. And in Alberta, it's minus 2, minus 1, 0 degrees. Northern Saskatchewan shows warmer there. Parts of southern Saskatchewan, close to 23 degrees Celsius, 24 degrees southern Manitoba. So yeah, a little warm up ahead of that cold front. It shows tomorrow night and morning, so minus 7, minus 12, Nunavut minus 13. So very cold temperatures there. Shows next Tuesday warms up a little bit in the afternoon, so like 5 degrees, but shows still warmer to 21 degrees in Ontario ahead of that system. And then shows this cold front comes colder in Ontario, like minus 3 next Thursday, colder in Alberta and parts of British Columbia too. And let's see. And then next Thursday morning, the 24th, shows those are cold temperatures in Quebec, parts of Labrador, and Ontario, so negative temperatures. Southern Saskatchewan and Alberta, I guess negative temperatures too. Most of British Columbia, parts of Manitoba, so it's very cold there. So be aware. And later on, does show those very cold temperatures in the east, minus 1, minus 5, New Brunswick, some 0 to minus 1, 2, very, very cold in the west. And then this keeps coming. Does show next Saturday, the 26th, some very cold temperatures all the way down to like southern Saskatchewan, parts of Ontario, so minus 2, minus 3, Manitoba. So be aware in those areas. And Alaska is very cold. So does show all the way to minus 26 Celsius in some areas there. There'll be like minus 15 Fahrenheit, or there's minus 16 Fahrenheit. So 3 Fahrenheit, very cold there. If I put this back to today's Monday, the 21st. So today's warmer, shows some 39 Fahrenheit, 37, so it's a little bit warmer ahead of that cold air coming from Russia. So show like some 19 Fahrenheit, 12 Fahrenheit, some areas, but then tomorrow morning already shows a little bit colder, some 25, 16 Fahrenheit. And show like southeastern Alaska, some 30s, so still a little bit warmer there. In the Aleutian Islands, so like 40s. And then Tuesday, and then Wednesday, that cold air starts kicking in again, some 12 Fahrenheit, 5 Fahrenheit, and more areas. And then Wednesday shows that blast of Arctic air coming down, as you can see the wind here. So like 20 Fahrenheit, 8, those purple airs like minus 16 Fahrenheit, so minus 12. So please be aware of this cold air coming. And this is so crazy. Like next Friday, the 25th, shows minus 20 Fahrenheit. So maybe more than minus 30 Celsius or something. So please be aware of the cold air. 16, 15 Fahrenheit. So yeah, be aware. And here, just to see something interesting. So models like some here, like North America. So let's see this the GFS here. So like winter weather. So we checked the snow depth. Let's just see the total snow again. Now check the European. You might have some more information. So here, let's put it like until Thursday, until Friday better. So until Friday does have like here. This is so slow. Does have more snow in Alaska, those areas there, especially some higher accumulations, some areas, southern Alaska there too. And like, let's see if the European model has something here. So let's see. doesn't have much. Has like here, let's winter weather. Yeah, it just has snow. But let's see the Canadian model, the one that we didn't see. So just see what the difference. So does show in Alaska some higher accumulations there. Those yellow areas, close, close to like this is in centimeters. I think I'm not sure. Shows close to like some 80 to 90 centimeters. So be aware. And then let's see. This just has snow too. Yeah, like precipitation has like temperature. Yeah, I was searching for ice too, but it just has snow. But we can see like here in precipitation type does show like that snow in the European shows wet snow, like in the green, so wet snow. And does show today that freezing rain parts of central Alaska there. All that purple now is freezing rain. Shows today's Monday the 21st. Shows some mixed ice in the brown, more freezing rain in the purple. So there is some freezing rain there now too. So be aware in Alaska. Shows in Yukon, parts of northwestern territories, more freezing rain next Tuesday. Showing some mixed ice as well and wet snow. So be aware. This isn't like nothing heavy, just the snow is heavy, but the freezing rain just from time to time. Nothing that crazy. For example, shows in parts of northern Saskatchewan next Thursday in Northwestern Territory. So yeah, be aware. And let's see. There's still the wind gusts. Shows here. So today's Monday. Shows those stronger winds in Alaska. More like 57 mile per hour gusts. Western Alaska, 50 mile per hour gusts. In Russia there too, if you're there. And BOS like 49 mile per hour gusts, 52. So very windy there. Then later, like the tonight, more than 55 mile per hour gusts. And Tuesday morning, they show some very high gusts. Those mountains of Yukon, more than like 74 mile per hour gusts. So 118 kilometer per hour gusts. So be aware. Some mountains of Alaska, some 50, 60 mile per hour gusts. So BR is still very windy in western Alaska, some more than 48 mile per hour gusts. Some mountains of northern Alaska, north central Alaska, more than 40 mile per hour gusts. So BPR, this keeps coming, shows windier from time to time. It really shows windier that system on Thursday. The Aleutian Islands, more than 64 mile per hour gusts, parts of the Aleutian Islands, 50 to 60 mile per hour gusts. And really cranks up next Friday to the 25th, more than 69 mile per hour gusts in some islands there. So please be aware and be careful there. There's still some strong winds in parts of Quebec in the and those areas. Shows northern Labrador too, and then it's close to 70 kilometer per hour gusts today. And then this goes there. Shows in British Columbia some 70 kilometer per hour gusts. Southern Northwestern Territory some 88 kilometer per hour gusts. Parts of British Columbia too, some higher gusts. So be aware those areas. This keeps moving. Nunavut, Northwestern Territories, might be those higher gusts there. And then this next Thursday does show some more gusts in northern Labrador. And then next Friday we have this system parts of Nova Scotia, close to 75 to 60 kilometer per gust. But it'll be really like Newfoundland there, close to some 80 kilometer per gust, 79, Saint Pierre and Miquelon there, close to 90 kilometer per gust next Friday. Shows all the way to 97 kilometer per gust in Saint Pierre there. So be aware. And southern Newfoundland shows more than like some 92, 94 kilometer per gust. So very windy there. Be aware in St. John's early next Saturday, close to 96 kilometer per gust. So big wind maker and rain maker there. So be aware. And then there's this system built in the plains, so like Next Wednesday, some 76 km per hour southern Ontario. But there's this system building there on the northwest. Does show like some stronger winds time next Thursday in northern Nevada and Idaho, close to 50 to 60 mile per hour gusts. So be aware. And then this keeps going. This next Thursday in Idaho, some more than 50 mile per hour gusts. Then this goes there into like Utah, 60 mile per hour gusts. Wyoming, Colorado, some high gusts. Then next Thursday goes into the plains. Northern Colorado shows all the way to 64 mile per hour gusts. Central Colorado, more than 50. Shows Kansas there, Oklahoma, South Dakota, some very high gusts. And then this kind of dissipates in terms of the winds. But yeah, might be windier. Those like yellowish areas there. Then shows a bigger system, the Hudson Bay, close to 50 mile per hour gust, so like some 81 km per hour gust next Saturday in Ontario, especially some areas there in the Hudson Bay, more than 80 km per hour gust. And next Sunday, they show very windy conditions in New Brunswick, Quebec, especially Quebec, parts of northern Maine and New Hampshire next Sunday, with some gusty winds into Labrador too. So be aware in those areas. And there's this big system on the west too. This is Friday. Shows this approaches southern Alaska there, British Columbia, more than 78 km per gust. And shows this entering like the coast of southern British Columbia, more than 108 km per gusts. So very, very windy there. So please be careful. This is like next Saturday, the 26th. Shows like some very high gusts in northern Washington, more than 61 mile per hour gusts. Goes to like 67 mile per hour gusts in northern Washington. So be aware. And then this keeps going there for British Columbia, so 96 km per hour gusts, and more areas there. Northern Montana might get pretty busy next Sunday, close to like some 50 or more mile per hour gusts. Southern Alberta too. So be aware those areas with the systems, and this is just one model. I should show you all of them, but this video will be enormous. The GFS next Saturday has more than 90 km per gust, British Columbia too, and not theirs, but does have a little bit different things. Like in Newfoundland there, it has next Thursday and Friday some 74 km per gust, so it doesn't have as strong as the European. So yeah, like next Friday has some very big winds in the Midwest and the Great Lakes, so some more than 70 km per gust. So yeah, this is mainly it.